real big delay today. Is there anything that would be the cause of that?
Really?
Yeah, I mean your reaction of really was like quite spaced out from me.
Long, really? Oh my gosh. this is going to be fun.
I guess we'll have to. I guess we'll have to say over.
Well,
Hey, we're live.
yeah.
Hey, guess
Well,
what?
see,
Guess what?
there was I paused when I talked there.
We're live, Scott. I was explaining our
Awesome.
technical difficulty and right in the middle of, I guess, going live. That's all right.
Anyway, I was telling Ellis that we were talking about the weather, how nice it was. And I was telling him most days I sit in my car at lunchtime, and either read or draw or sleep, and it's been really nice. Today was very nice, and even your car, even if you park it in the sun, even if it's cold outside, it'll stay pretty warm inside.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite things is the because it also gets the moisture just about right in a car. It really brings out the lizard in you to get a nice hot car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like that can be one of the best places on earth.
Yeah. That's my only regret is that my car does not have a sunroof. It's the first car I've had in a while without a sunroof, and that usually made it really nice. A day like today, when it was kind of a little on the warm side, you could open that up and it would vent out all that heat. You know.
Yep.
Anyway,
I've been watching. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say I'm still working on this. I don't know if I've worked on this much since we talked last time. I've been busy with other things.
Well, I've been. I'll show them to you. Well, I don't know if you can see stuff. I've been doing one thing. I got a great assignment of the classic 3-point hero pose from InWorld of a landing. So I did 2 of them, looking at some references, Spider-Man, and I guess that was probably a Black Panther or something like that. But I took the head off this one in Photoshop and stuck it on that one. Looks pretty good. And next to it is one that went pretty good. It's going to be, and I also have it in a layer already. It's going to be on a cracked mirror. It's going to be a wizard laughing maniacally. They ought to go pretty quick. I should have already had them done today, but I just felt like doing my usual nothing. Sometimes, I mean, it really is a disease. If you get used to doing nothing, you have to write yourself a prompt. You have to do something that says, do something today. Damn you.
Do something today. Yeah, I can tell there's a delay, Ellis, because when you were showing me those pictures, it was almost in sync with the YouTube up on the TV in front of me. And I was like, oh man.
Well, yeah, that's the. You are getting some sort of real time sync.
That's a pretty good delay.
Yeah. And I've been the big movie I've watched that I pursued a little bit of information about was, and I'm looking forward to the Guillermo del Toro version of it. Now we're in trouble.
What?
I am working on my master's degree of procrastination. That is from Jinju.
Oh no!
Let me show it.
That's the goal, man.
Tips imaginary hat to you gentlemen. Okay, well, it's nice to you dropped in there, Jinju. Said hi, whether you stay or not. I don't know how scintillating we'll stay. I think we drive people off pretty quick.
That's okay. Hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
You know, it's funny though. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think about. I'm at the age where I don't think about retiring just yet. I'm still a ways away, but it's like, it's like, what am I gonna do when I, I definitely
Well,
think about what I'm gonna do.
it's definitely important to keep everything uh, churning. You gotta keep it mixed up and everything. And I do really well physically and everything. I get that walk in. I get the other miscellaneous toning exercises in. I'm real good at that. But the intellectual, the money making kind of like hobbyist kind of stuff, I'm not doing that much. I need to. I need to work on like doing stuff like this in world. I ought to stay busy all the time. I've got enough
Yeah,
talent. I can stay busy all the time.
I don't know why you don't.
Well, I've got to make the linkages have to be there, and then I've got to talk myself into saying, yeah, that's worth my time.
Well, I mean, that is reasonable. I think certainly.
Hmm. Hmm.
The idea that, I mean, because I'm kind of there myself, even though I'm not retired. This idea of, well, I have a full time job, I have a good job. There's no reason for me to do I don't have to do anything I don't want to do.
Hmm.
Which is why I've been working on these
Yeah.
things. It's like, hey, this is what I want to do, and
Well,
so this
that
is.
that is at a minimum what I ought to also always be doing is like saying, have I done enough sketching today? That ought to go without saying to the guy
Yes.
that needs to sketch every day.
Oh, absolutely. You should fill a couple pages every day at least.
Jinju says, I'm 47 and I relate to you guys, unlike the younger crowd. I enjoy watching you work and the conversations are interesting. All right.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. What's your schedule like tomorrow, Ellis?
My schedule on tomorrow being Friday with a beautiful day uh, is nothing.
Would you have any interest in meeting me downtown?
Yeah, I could meet you downtown, I guess. I think. Can't think of any reason not to.
I have a weird. I have a potential employee coming by tomorrow. I'm interviewing a guy, and he's going to come by at 9,
Mhm.
and I'm anticipating that taking an hour. I could probably be downtown. I mean, I know this sounds weird, but by the time I interview him and show him around, I'm not gonna. It's informal. We're just gonna meet with him, but I feel like I'll be at work until about 10:30, 10:45. Would you want to meet me at 11 at Michelle's work?
Sure, 11. Let me write that down. 11.
I'll send you a
11.
text in the morning so you don't
There
forget.
we go. 11.
Um,
And I'll hold off on my
I have
exercise
to.
so that
I have to.
I'll feel like I'm getting my exercise by going to see Scott.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. We'll go. We'll find a place that is Thor and the destroyer, the old
Oh, that guy.
Thor nemesis. I think the destroyer was a enchanted suit of armor. Yeah, it's not a
Is
kind of
that
looks
the
like
one?
the
Is
movie
that
Sentinel.
the yeah, the
Certainly.
one in the movie where they still didn't have their handle on how to do Thor? Let that guy be funny instead of deadly serious as Thor. It's funny,
I
it's
think
kind
he
of
did.
weird.
I think he did fight. I think they did fight something similar,
Yeah, it was
but
some
I don't.
sort of
I don't know if
big,
they ever determined that it was the destroyer.
some sort of big thing.
Big animated magical
Yeah,
thing.
something
I
with
always
a
kind of
big.
like the destroyer. And anyway, so this is yeah, this is Thor fighting the destroyer. Um,
Groovy.
I need to work on this arm. I'm kind of got ahead of myself a little bit here.
Well, you're rendering. You needed to just stay with the thumbnail until it said that sings to me.
Well, the problem is the thumbnail sang to me, and so I started, and
Okay.
then I looked at it again and thought, maybe I need to. Well, this right here needs a little bit of. But anyway, um, so I went and saw Batman last night.
Oh, that's right.
Ellis, you need to go see it. I think you would like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm
You
not
know,
going to talk about it because I know a lot of people haven't seen it.
and you aren't prepared to describe it without spoilers, huh?
No, let me say this. It reminded me a lot of the Batman '89, and when I say that, what I
Especially
mean
the way it
is,
ended. Go ahead.
well, the Batman '89. When it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this is how Batman should be," because we were used to Batman from the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
That was the media representation of Batman. It's like, no, this is how Batman should be, and it's darker and edgier, and which is weird because when you watch that movie, it does not appear dark and edgy at all now, but at the
No.
time, it really was groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hit all that.
this is similar.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
It's
does
very,
it have any goofiness to it? Because after all, I mean,
no,
that Tim Burton was goofy.
there is no goofiness whatsoever.
Okay.
It is moody. It is.
I saw one comment today said it depressed me.
Yeah, it's
seeing
very
all the violence in cities in Batman, because that's where I live now. Yeah. It basically was a.
Well, but it's in Gotham. They don't live in Gotham, do they?
Well, they live in New York, which is a placeholder for Gotham.
Yeah, but it was. Well, whatever. But I mean,
it's where all the Marvel guys are at. That's what they're thinking about when they do Gotham.
Well, actually,
Or not Marvel,
Chicago.
Guys, comic book. Oh, really? You think Batman is more of a stand-in for Chicago?
Yeah, Gotham is more Chicago City.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess so.
but
Yeah.
Dude, and if you like cars, he gets in that new Batmobile and fires it up, and it's like the trumpet of the apocalypse, man. It's like, It's really cool.
I was just watching a snippet of Jay Leno right before we got together. He's driving some sort of supposedly.
My brother.
It's the first turbo. Yeah. That's right. Your brother had a Jay Leno experience.
My brother was on a Jay Leno. Jay Leno does a game show now called You Bet Your Life, and my brother was on an episode of that recently.
What took him out there? I mean,
in fact, you know what's funny is, yeah, they brought him out there, so he got to go on a little free vacation.
How did he do that? How did he wrangle it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll have to ask him that. Well, you know my brother. My brother
not that well. He dabbles.
He dabbles in acting. He's acted in a ton of commercials locally, and he's done some in other cities. So he knows he's in marketing, but he's kind of moved out of marketing in his day job, and he's more like business relations. But I don't know if I'm sure they had an open casting call, and he just sent in a film, and they were like,
"This guy has got it." Yeah.
Well, this guy isn't afraid to talk on camera.
Yeah, that's right.
And they lost. And what's funny is the stuff they lost, I knew, but one of them was, well, I think I told you that one of them was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
They didn't know the movie. I was like, oh.
Nobody.
But
yeah.
Anyway, that was he still had fun.
Do they send you away with something anyway? I mean, in terms of like.
Yes. Well, what's funny is he got some kind of like beauty cream or some kind of like an expensive kind of facial cream, and somebody reached out to him, and like one of my mom's friends goes, "Well, if you don't want the beauty cream, I'll take it," and he left it in the hotel room.
Oh,
he didn't even bring it. It was like $500 worth or whatever, and he's like, I'm not using this.
An eBay item.
He's not married, so he's like, yeah, who cares? Well, yeah, no doubt, man. But
You bet your
anyway,
life.
yeah, I mean,
I guess that was the appeal to Leno to. Says, I'm wanting to watch the new up and coming Mad Max Furiosa movie. I know nothing about that. I had no idea that existed.
What? There's another Mad Max movie?
If there is a Miller movie in the works, I hope he gets involved again, because I can't imagine it without Miller's involvement. But you never know. He may farm it all out. Yeah, I want to see that. It's one of my man. Yeah, Furiosa. She supposedly didn't have that great a time making that movie, but boy, I tell you what, as far as she made an impact as Furiosa. What's her name?
Oh yeah, man.
I saw somebody, Charlie.
I'm blanking on it.
Theron.
Dude, I was reading this thing about COVID fog. I kind of think I may got that. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. You got COVID fog. Well, I don't want to hang out with you then.
Well, I can't think of anybody's name today.
Well, that's my everyday. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna blame it on, is COVID. That's what I've decided. I was asked if I'd do something, and I got out of it. And I was like, well, with COVID and everything.
I've had COVID.
I had COVID, so despite having
sound like Neil Hamburger up there on stage where no one's laughing at a joke or something. He goes, "Hey, I have cancer." trying to get this miserable experience from an audience you're supposedly entertaining. Hey, I have cancer. That guy is you have to have a different kind of. His name is Neil Hamburger. I only know about him because he's apparently Michael Malice's favorite comedian. So I investigated him a little bit. And, he's a Tim and Eric kind of guy. I think they've done several collaborative type of things.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that reaction to Tim and Eric stuff.
Yeah.
It is a special taste that you kind of have to develop, and can a little bit of it can go a long way. But I love Dr. Steve Brule by what's his name? There you go, Scott. I've got long COVID myself here.
COVID fog.
Yeah. What is his name? Great actor. He's with Tim Farrell and Step Brothers. Can't think of his name.
It's Will Ferrell, and that is, who is that guy? I can see his face.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can't unsee his face. He's got one of those faces.
Yeah, he's got one of those faces.
Which is great. You could think, now that guy has either got a great handicap or he's never going to not have work. I don't know. It's that kind of
one of the two. Either he's going to overcome it or it's going to take him down.
Yeah. And he was, it's interesting when you've read a book and you realize you just witnessed some very subtle point in a movie that they've included that it goes by in like 2 seconds. And he was in the movie, now I really am brain farting. Geez, well, I'm going to have to get out some linkage work here. Do some linkage work. Make my brain start working.
Yep.
I can't think how to type in the link. Steve Brule. I'll start with that. Dr. Steve Brule. Check it out. That's the show he's on. And that man's name is John C. Reilly. Very good. That'll help.
Yes. As soon as you said John, I was like, oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to go to Internet Movie Database and insist on learning.
All there is, I don't know.
All there is about
I
John
don't
C.
know that I
Reilly.
care for him enough to.
Yeah. Well, he's done other things for me that were really good. I mean,
I'm not a Will Ferrell. I mean,
The Sisters Brothers was kind of unique. It was kind of fun.
I don't know if I already heard of that.
It was a Western with that. Eli sisters. Oh yeah, it's got Joaquin Phoenix in it.
Oh, really?
Joaquin Phoenix, Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't. Guess I know how to say that. Man, this guy has stayed really. I mean, I had no idea when I said, yeah, he'll always have work. Heck, this guy has made a ton of stuff.
Oh, I think he's one of those guys that gets work.
Mm-hmm. He was in Above the Law, Steven Seagal's debut film. Apparently, he was
Get out of here.
He was a thug in a bar. He probably just looked around, gave him the old Riley hairy eyeball, you know.
The hairy eyeball.
Yeah. Oh, he's in Gangs of New York. Wow. Yeah, I remember him. I always remember these little bits. Oh, there it is. The Thin Red Line. And he's in this scene where he's in just a real quick fight, and you just barely are able to realize the guy he's fighting is the guy that's been collecting teeth of the miscellaneous Japanese soldiers he's running across. And that gruesome bit of, that's not what we're here for, is you collecting teeth. But that played it played out as a fairly big scene in the book, but it just goes by real quick as just a couple of guys with bloody noses, and you realize, I know what that's about. But yeah, some of those guys probably had their, that director's famous for just like shooting a ton of stuff. Yeah. What is that director's name? I need to watch The Thin Red Line again someday. That's one of those films where someone put a lot of work into trying to make something really good.
I don't think I've
Terrence Malick. Terrence Malick.
Oh, Terrence Malick. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bat cape becomes a problem that needed planning if you want it to look right. And I did not plan too well for this one. I just kind of let it.
Oh yeah.
I kind of let it make its own exit.
In the movie, it was fairly short.
Oh, they decided not to go all campy with 20 feet of cape, huh?
Yeah, that's the Todd McFarlane Spawn theory.
Mm-hmm. John C. Reilly. Yeah, that's right. I've been dabbling around with some other stuff and not on my own page. Coming out in 2024, they say. The Mad Max Furiosa movie. Yeah.
Oh, really? I wonder what that means they're adding it.
I'm gonna look that up since I've got stuff open. Why not?
I mean, why not?
I will tell you all about it. But I was going to tell you that I really am looking forward, and I'll probably eventually spend money to watch it. But I want to be able to rent it instead of buy it.
Oh, watch Batman
No, I want to
or
watch
what? Wait.
Nightmare Alley, the
Oh,
Guillermo
Nightmare Alley.
Del Toro one. I don't see
Oh
it
yeah.
listed as being in production. Oh, there it is. It's just called Furiosa. Oh, now that's interesting. I guess Charlie Theron did have a hard time with it because it looks like
She's
the
not
girl,
in the new one.
she's not in the new one, and it looks like the girl from what was it called? Gambit, the one about the girl playing chess. It's her.
Oh no, the was it the Queen's Gambit?
Queen's Gambit, yes. And it's got
Oh
Chris
really?
Hemsworth in it. He surely won't be playing Mad Max. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe Thor.
It'll be.
Did you ever see
It just shows you
what's it called?
Charlie's
Black
setup.
Hat?
What?
Oh,
Black Hat.
sorry.
Go
Did
ahead.
you ever see Black Hat with Chris Helmsworth?
Wait a moment. I think I did. Wait a second. Is that the one where he plays this?
About the hackers? He was a hacker.
Oh no. I was thinking Edna E. Mode. Yeah,
Oh,
Edna E.
yeah.
Mode from The Incredibles, and her saying "No capes." And I believe that's the voice of Brad Bird that plays Edna.
Yep. That's what I've heard.
Yep, that was a great show, Queen's Gambit. Yep. I found that very diverting, very binge worthy.
Oh, I never saw it. Was on Netflix, wasn't it? I don't have
Mhm.
Netflix.
Yeah, very binge worthy. And it's weird because she's such a she's on the scale of what do you call that, being semi-autistic or whatever, in terms of like that would kind of explain some of her phenomenal ability, of course, but she does allow herself at the end, and it's quite a payoff, an emotional payoff when the guy, she's extremely troubled and coming from a
Yes.
very troubled thing, and but the guy that got her into all of it, she visits him after his death, and she comes across this little thing where she realizes just how important she was to him in terms of like his pride, and she amounted to basically what he considered, he's a janitor, and she amounted to about what he considered his achievement in life.
Oh
And
yeah.
it destroys her. She shows some emotion then.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. I'm bad about
Oh
that.
yeah. Well,
Now, let me tell you about the best part of this show.
yeah.
Oh well.
I'm watching The Sopranos again.
Oh my. You can't run that for me. I've seen it. I think I've seen it. I had to go sporadic. I lost my access to it for a while, and then I had to say, "Have I seen this one yet or not?" And I had to go back and construct the last shows. But I think
Well, that happened to me because it was on Prime for a while and then it went off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. And then we got HBO Max. Somehow it was on. Oh, that's what it was. Right as I finished it, something. I don't know. Anyway, I finished it, but I had to reconstruct it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rewatching it on HBO Max.
Cool show, but it's like one of those little bit goes a long way kind of
Yeah,
things.
we were talking about that,
Mm-hmm.
and how it's like, I'm not really that good with shows where it's like I can't find a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
There I need something that I can sink my teeth into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they're all terrible, you know, it's just like, oh wait, you know.
Well, that's what was cool, and I'm looking forward to about Nightmare Alley is the
Oh, there's
fact that
nobody alike in
they will
there.
be showing you characters that are pretty despicable and
Oh yeah.
pay a price for it.
Yep.
Oh, have you seen the new Nightmare Alley?
Yeah, yeah. I saw it on HBO not long ago. I haven't seen the old one.
Okay. Oh wow, the old one is pretty cool. That's the one I've been soaking up lately. I got the library's Criterion edition. That was pretty cool.
I
It's a
think
lot of
I
cool.
have it coming to me, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. There's a scene, and this isn't a spoiler. There's a scene in the new one. I mentioned this in the emails between you and me and Barry,
Hmm.
where you know it takes place in a circus or whatever you'd call it, carnival, I guess.
Carnival,
And there's a
Carnies.
scene very yeah, there's a scene in the very beginning where they're looking for the geek has got out and they're looking for the geek, and he's in
Hmm.
the fun house, and they until he goes in the fun house, and it's this fun house that would be the most big budget fun house type. You know, it's like the theme is like you know, a trip to hell or something like that,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it's got this huge demon head and all, and it's just you look at it, and you're just like there's you know that's $100,000 worth of art direction that you know and
Yeah.
production values there. You know, it's just something that you would never. Is really nice for a
It
CD
wouldn't be part
carnival
of a
type.
road show, but who cares?
No, 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 no. This stuff wouldn't move. I wouldn't think.
Hmm.
You know, but it's still cool. I mean, it's still cool. It's cool looking. But to me, I was immediately like, that's too nice for this carnival.
Hmm.
You know, they blew all their carnival budget on that Satan head. You
Well,
know.
yeah, but it is kind of hard to get a fix on just how profitable that kind of stuff was at a certain time in America. Yeah, the
Maybe, yeah.
some of the extras are about Carney history on that Criterion thing, and
Oh yeah.
he talks about it. It was a big draw, and it shows some of the crowds, and it's like money for that day. It
Yeah.
probably made some
Could be.
fortunes. Yeah, there was a cute little term for what they called the posters, and I can't remember it. It's more like
The things painted on canvas.
yeah, yeah. It's got a little cute name. I'll see if I can find that just randomly.
Oh yeah. I watched an episode of one of those shows where they buy antiques from people,
Hmm.
and what was the show? American Pickers. You've probably never seen it, but um, they go around to like people selling off their parents' collections after they die and stuff like that. And they bought a bunch of those, and they you know it was all original stuff. You know, it's just they hired a guy and he painted them, and just beautiful stuff. Apparently, there was a guy who's pretty famous for it that they had a bunch of his. You know, and they're just on canvas, just big you know sheets of canvas that he painted this you know alligator headed lady or whatever it was. Kind of cool. Again, it goes back to this idea that you know in America there used to be a real uh, outlet for artistic talent, whereas now you know it's like well you know if you can work in you know one of a few, it's basically limited to entertainment. There used to be a commercial art field, and that's basically you know gone. You
Hmm.
know nowadays. Um, And there's something going on in animation because I was reading on Twitter, somebody was just railing about how all these animators are unhappy. I don't know what's going on.
What company?
Didn't
Disney?
say what company. They didn't
Oh,
say.
okay.
It just said all, a bunch of animators are unhappy.
Oh
Um,
man, I tell you what, animation. If they're mistreating you, they're mistreating you. They can mistreat you in a really bad way. you can be having all sorts of carpal tunnel problems, and it's like, you've got X amount you're supposed to be doing, and it can basically be killer. So yeah, there's a lot you
I'm,
can.
I'm always like reluctant when people are talking about, especially like they're like, oh yeah, my kid likes to draw, and I'm like, you can get them into real estate, have them go
Yeah,
to plumbing school, 'cause
yeah. So
it's like,
you retain that joy.
yeah, exactly. Draw on the side. Don't do it for a living. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't complain, but I don't have like any kind of stellar career, but I do. I mean, I'm an artist. Well, now I'm a boss of artists. But
Oops.
heck, I'm looking for a
I just
mold maker.
messed up in the lips pretty badly. Oh well, it can be explained by he's in motion. Uh, uh, what was that? Oh yeah, yeah. You're saying that about. Oh, I've lost the train. What were we talking about? You,
I was talking about don't let your babies grow up to be artists.
yeah,
To quote a country song,
yeah.
or to butcher a country song.
Oh, sorry, that didn't give me enough prompt.
Oh well,
Oh
I
well, it
tried.
probably wasn't that important then. It couldn't have been. It
Probably not. If you could,
wasn't in my
wasn't in your
forebrain.
frontal lobe, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
any better than that?
I tried.
Yeah, I've got a gladiator trying to make a shoulder roll for his. Oh, I want to. I've been investigating, and I'm going to step off. I just ordered an art supply. I ordered some sepia what's that? Martin's ink, Dr. Martin's ink, and
Oh, Dr. Martin's dies.
yeah, yeah, and I'm going to try to use a little of that as what I because I've been
Have you ever
watching.
used
No, I've
Have you
never
ever
used.
used Dr. Martin dies?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Is there anything I ought to know about them?
They're very saturated.
That's good.
A little bit
That
goes a
means that
long ways.
that's good because I want them to last a long time. I bought two little
I
bottles
have
of the
I have
sepia.
I have a set of them. I'm surprised they still make them. They used to use we use these for airbrushing at work years ago,
Hmm.
and when they got rid of the airbrush, they gave these to me.
Oh,
And so I don't know. You know what I've done with these?
what?
I have taken these and put them in those those brushes, the
Hmm.
brush pens that have the big reservoir and they have the fiber bristles.
Uh huh. Show those again. I wasn't looking when you hauled them out.
Oops.
Look at that. Don't try 'em.
Whoa. Yeah.
Now, would you say most of those are filled up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you sell those to me?
Uh,
No, I don't need them.
I don't know what they're worth. I
Yeah,
don't know if
exactly.
they're I don't know, and they're
Well,
pretty old.
they might be there may be people that use those that are looking at that saying, "Oh my God, he's got $1,000
He's
worth
got
of Dr. Martin's
yeah.
dies."
If someone offers me $1,000, they can
Yeah,
have this.
yeah,
I'll even ship them for free.
yeah. Free
See, like
shipping.
the black is almost gone. It's dried up,
Yeah,
but
yeah. You cracked it open and used it a few times. Hey,
the,
I'm showing my Kona Monarch of Monster Isle here,
oh yeah,
and I can't wait to crack into this. Well, I'm obviously going to wait. I'm doing other things. I'm reading other stuff. But like I say, it shocked me. I was expecting it to be printed with like that thing where they use the photo process to capture pulp's
no,
color, and instead it's grayscale. But I've decided after the initial shock, it's still pretty groovy because it features one of my artists that I'm really sentimental about. He's like two steps back from Joe Kubert, but every time you look at it, you say, "Yeah, I see." There's a little bit of Kubert energy to this guy, and technique wise and all that. it's still, and plus he was a serviceman. You can tell the way he just says this guy wasn't content with until he got how a rifle gets shouldered and aimed and all that. He's not
Oh
going to
yeah,
give you, he's going to get it right on this and that.
he's not
Every now and
phoning
then
in
he's not
the
all that
gun
great.
details.
Like what the hell kind of snake is that? The guy didn't even bother looking up any reference for that. And the dinosaurs, the Tyrannosaur. There's this real cheesy movie called like Dinosaur Island, where these men are wandering, and it's got some funny trivia on it. That they had a couple of guys faint in the Tyrannosaur outfits, and I think one of the guy they have the shot where the Tyrannosaur falls over, and that's it. They just left it in the movie. But that's what it looks like. It looks
Print
like
that.
yeah. Print the legend. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's nice. I remember that. Every now and then he would get scale. So nice. Kona. And of course this whole family, the father was the alpha guy and was keeping them alive until they ran into Kona. And of course Kona kind of took over that alpha spot pretty quick. Yeah,
Well,
he's. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Use it, Kona. Yeah, this is good. This the doc. He throws a Thompson submachine gun to a caveman, and he says, "Use it, Kona." And then he just instantly blasts away at some dinosaurs.
All people with opposable thumbs automatically know how to use.
Yeah.
Automatic weapons.
Yeah, toss it to him.
Here, take this. and while you're at it, clear the jam and remove the clip.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned that you were buying that online.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you were like, what is this? What is this company doing this, selling this? And I showed you this. I sent you pictures of this.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the old Captain Marvel. I told you I have Captain Marvel. And it's the Monster Society of Evil arc. And
of course, everything these people involved. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I sent you pictures, and I think my pictures, it darkened up, and it looked better in my pictures than it does in person. But it's not bad. I think they went light when they scanned them or photographed them or whatever so they wouldn't have to worry about stuff getting too dark.
Yeah, well, that is more of a problem. You don't want it so rich that it's screwing all your detail up. I've got that whole awful Fantastic Four they put out that is just too mushy and rich. It'd be so nice if it looked more like right there what you got in front of you.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, those I guess they specialize in all public domain.
Yeah, they've done other stuff. It's funny that you and I have no idea what this Gwandana land is,
Mm-hmm.
but and unfortunately, I mean, this cover would be their design. There's no design about this at all.
Yeah.
No.
They
and there's no, it's the equivalent of getting a book off of Lulu or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like making your own book out of a bunch of. Of course, you and we both have. You've got a little more. You put a little more design into your personal Lulu books, but.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but and in hindsight, I should have put a little bit more in it, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it's worthwhile. The publish on demand, it's always got that. You could always be, what do you call it? Scrapbooking stuff you like and putting a book out.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of publish on demand, I was looking a little bit of um, oh, what is it? What's your Idle Hands? I was looking at a little bit of Idle Hands today at lunchtime. Your
You must
book.
be you must just leave that on the car seat and have to get it out every time you sit down because you seem to look at that a lot.
I do. I do. It's in my. It's in my bag. Well, it's small and portable. You know.
Yeah, it is just the right size, 6 by 9. I love that
Yeah.
size for a paperback.
Yeah.
So Batman, the review. I guess you went as far as you wanted to in that, but I'm looking forward to that. Actually,
You would like it. It reminded me of. Well, he's just real moody, and
hmm
he's very. I don't know if this would turn you off. I told one of my employees this. I said, I don't know if this turns you off of wanting to see it, but he's very goth. You
hmm
know,
yeah,
it's like My Chemical Romance Batman. You
uh,
know,
that's interesting.
which
Yeah, that would be the instant review or the micro review that would put a lot of people off on it. Yep,
yeah,
but
probably.
if it
Well,
is, but if it does a good job of kind of like giving you a sense of it, and it sounds like it does.
that would be my 30-second review. But you know what's funny? One of my complaints about the last James Bond movie. Have you seen the last James Bond movie, No Time to Die?
No, I haven't. I need to rent that eventually. Is that any
One of my
good?
complaints One of my complaints about that was we had mopey James Bond in there, and
Uh,
I'm like, James Bond should never be mopey.
mm-hmm,
That's not a James Bond trait,
mm-hmm.
you know. Not he's barely introspective, certainly not mopey, and he
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
mopey in that, and I didn't care for it, and but Batman is not mopey, but he's certainly it's very goth. And even if you want to say, well, James Bond was just being goth, James Bond should never be goth. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
doesn't make any sense. But he was it was a different kind of Batman that I think worked very
Well, I'm
well.
ready to accept any take on Batman. I always like him. I liked him
He's a cool
goofy.
character.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not an ounce of goofy in this movie. This movie is nihilistic.
Mm, okay.
They believe in nothing.
They believe in nothing. Yeah,
We are
I love
nihilists.
that
We
movie.
believe in
That's one
nothing.
movie I'll always love.
Oh yeah. That's funny. I
Yeah,
wouldn't I
I
wouldn't
saw
peg
the.
you for a Lebowski guy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Golly, when I saw the Lebowski the first time, and I think I was the only one in the audience that kind of got that it actually was the ending where it ends.
Oh yeah.
And when the guy that's in so much trouble right now for saying about the new Brokeback Mountain cowboy movie, what's his name? Sam something. He was in that. You
Elliot.
told me about the Elliot. Yeah, the he was in the Bigfoot. I killed
Oh yeah.
Bigfoot and almost killed Hitler, or did kill Hitler. I guess he did.
The man who killed Hitler and then killed Bigfoot.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Uh,
A library watch, by the way.
and so Sam Elliott, I caught to it that they were going to end it with Elliott saying, "I kind of dig that." He's saying, "I don't know about you, but I kind of think that's the way it ought to be," or whatever he said. And considering
Yeah.
how all of it's quotable, it's a damn shame not to get it right. But
Yes.
yeah, he's going on about how I think there's going to be a little Lebowski.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I think the whole spinning world makes more sense that way. I don't know what he said.
Anyway, you should see Batman.
Oh yeah, I want to see the Coen brothers do a Batman. Why not? I want to see Quentin Tarantino do Batman for his last movie. Why not? I was watching some sort of Quentin Tarantino thing the other day. What was it?
I don't know if I want to see. I don't know. I don't know if Tarantino is a comic book guy.
Nah, I don't think he is. He's
Nah.
a movie guy.
Yeah. Some people they only have room for one passion.
Yeah. Did I'm trying.
I
I'm
don't think
trying
I'd
to
want to draw a comic book with this character.
Nah, yeah, you gotta always
Too much work.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You gotta figure out big shapes. Reduce him to the big shape.
Well, it's hard to. He's got bands on his leg and they're metallic and
Hmm.
da da da. You know.
I've got no idea what Batman's doing here, but
The Bat
what would you
Tusi.
be doing with your? Let me think about it. I'll make this movement, this pose make sense.
He's kicking a soccer ball.
Yeah, there we go. He could be. Yeah. The only thing that makes sense is that he's being struck from behind in the head. That would be the only thing that would explain this ungainly pose.
Yeah. Well, you drew him off balance.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? I could probably bring it back by making it more like a.
You probably could, but you
Yeah,
drew him off balance, and there's not really a reason. So I feel
yeah,
like you owe us a reason.
yeah, that's right. You are storytelling when you do something like that.
Yeah, you didn't you made him in a pose that is ungainly. Now you have to explain yourself.
Hmm. What else have I watched recently? Well, I told you about Love and Dune, and now I'm listening to the. I just got done with the Patricia Highsmith 11 short stories, and I'll have to bundle up and give you the AIF files on that or something if you don't ever feel like buying it yourself, because those short stories are worth listening to. That is some really cool. And of course,
Who is she? I don't know which. I don't know anything.
she did. She got famous from out of the gate by. I think about the first book she ever wrote was Strangers on a Train, and Hitchcock
Oh,
optioned it
okay,
within like
okay.
2 years of it coming out. So, yeah, she never had to wait too long to make a little dough from her writing
Writing.
career. Yeah, I just think how unique that makes her in general to say, "Yeah, I write. It's easy. All you do is write
Oh
something, and
yeah,
Hitchcock buys it from you, and
yeah,
you're famous for life."
yeah. I think making your living as a writer. We think of the writers that struggled
Oh yeah,
that are
nobody
now.
ever. It's worse than being a comic book artist, really. It
Yeah,
it's rarely going to be anything that pays you, and that's why it's such a shame that uh, newspapers uh, in
are
general
dying.
that was a great little place to park that talent.
Yeah, yeah. To develop it and to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of the writers that I like that wouldn't be writers unless they had went through the crucible of having all those deadlines that a guy that works for a newspaper has.
I feel like that and a lot of other things. I think that our society is going to be a lot poorer, maybe not financially, but just poorer in a generation or two.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, it's pretty scary considering we're yapping away about miscellaneous topics and ignoring the topic everybody's talking about, which is the nearness of World War III, basically. All these people demanding that old man created a fly zone. He's like, hey, I just do what you guys tell me to do. He's got no sense himself. If enough people tell him to do it, he'll do it. And what will that do for the world?
For the right people.
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, right people meaning the right people in his eyes.
The people, yeah.
I think.
Know what?
I think. Well, here's the thing: we buy. I forget the number. It's like 600,000 million billion. I don't know, but we buy so much oil from Russia every single day.
Yeah.
And we could literally, if we could just, and we didn't do that 5 years ago.
That's right.
If we could just cut off that spigot of money to them,
it's important to note that you benefit from the way things are now.
Absolutely.
When that oil is up high, so you want things different, even though you're benefiting right now.
Yeah, I do not want, even though it takes money out of my pocket, I do not want $150 a barrel oil.
Yeah, sure.
Oil, ideally, I think should be about somewhere between 50 and 100, around $75 a barrel. That's a reasonable price that we can keep our economy going. It's a reasonable price that people will explore and will invest in oil, but yet it's not so high that it like kills the average Joe out there buying gas.
Right. Hey, have you heard this? Jin Shu says they're making Craven the Hunter into a solo movie. I bet you $1 they don't use that. They don't use Steve Ditko's character design or his costume designs.
With the lion.
yeah, it's Ditko could get a little fruity on the old character designs. He did really well with Strange and a couple others that he really had kind of an affinity
Spider-Man's
for.
Classic. I mean, Spider-Man is one of the few costumes that they have not changed. I mean, they've modified it, but they have not changed, and it's never stuck.
Yeah, pretty timeless.
Classic. And they'll do stuff like make the webbing thicker, the eyes bigger, but that's not really changing the core. Look at that leg. I like how that leg came out.
Yeah. Chrome.
It's very metallic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, when I was in school, let me find this book. I had this book.
Mike the basics of Chrome is put the sky in the ground.
Well, because I loved drawing cars. I was obsessed with drawing cars, and so I wanted to learn how to draw chrome. Because at that point, the cars still had chrome on them a little bit. Not don't get me wrong, it wasn't the 50s or anything. This was the 80s, but the car still had some chrome. So
some reflective surfaces on it.
Yeah. I had this. So at school, Mike Kennedy had this book, and I bought me a copy. And it's funny because it's rendering with markers. But if you look inside, it's all, well, not all, but it's mostly black and white. When I say that, now it's all color. But this is, it showed you how to render chrome with markers.
Stick a horizon line in there and go to it.
Yeah. Put a highlight. What's funny is I do that at work a lot because I have to render metals. I draw metal for somebody, I got to take it in Photoshop and make it look. Anyway, I love this book. I've had this book for a while.
Which
And I've
reminds
been
me of
exposed
that,
to this book for a long time. Do what?
that book you found on that Disney-oriented blog. That was pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a Disney blog called Passport to Dreams. The 2 is the number 2. So Passport to Dreams. And there's a section on there that's called Library, and it's got links to different books. What I forgot. Oh, the one I sent you was the link to How to Draw Cars of Tomorrow, I think, or the Future, or something like that.
And the
And it
guy's
was
very famous engineer for Disney.
Yeah,
Wrote the
he
book.
designed a lot early on at Disneyland. He designed a lot of stuff, and he wrote this book about it. And all the cars all look like they're straight out of, some kind of ride at Disneyland. And in his book is really cool. They're all like I think they're early 50s looking cars. It's like what somebody in the early 50s would think cars of the future look like, because none of them have tail fins, and that became such a huge part of cars. Starting at 55. But yeah, that book is pretty cool. I was watching Cartoonist Kayfabe the other day, and they were talking about a book called what is it called? Lettering for Reproduction, which is about rendering type. I was like, oh, I want that book.
Would it be considered past its prime in terms of like, is the information still good, do you think?
Well, the information on type is still good, but I mean, generally people don't hand render type. It's for hand rendering type. This shape didn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, we're past time.
Are we? Okay, yeah, we've spent an hour.
Where did the time go? Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Jinju, thanks for showing up and keeping us company. That was cool. Having a comment here and there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, Scott.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Indian broadcast. You want to add anything?
Watches it later.
Yeah.
No, just said thanks everybody who watches in the future.
Okay. Indian broadcast.